this is my thoughts on the complete series as a whole. That at least ran for 4 seasons from 2000. I see 2004 to 2009. April Hates Chris series. I looked up the year. I seen that. I remember you right. That's when it aired in 2004. Yeah. Everybody's crazy. Chris is well, it's interesting of a show. Now, this was advertised as basically the marketed as the Chris Rock's childhood stories of what was like being Chris Rock growing up as a kid. So, and I couldn't help but find this incredibly depressing of a show. And not, like, it's interesting as it's depressing, kind of meaningless, it feels. And, the title is, like, Everyone Hates Chris, because what a fitting title, because it seems like everybody in the show, even his own parents, hate Chris. And think that he's incompetent, they treat him like it. So he ends up only liking Chris, the character show at the end, but ends up ironically hating everyone else, including his best friend, who is in fact white, and that's a big part of what makes him his best friend, because he's white. They make it really clear that his best friend was a white guy. They really hammer this into the show really hard to make this like so bizarre thing for the time. It's now the reason I'm also if you've seen my show or are new to my channel, you or would not know that I've reviewed the show before, but I'm reviewing this show again, this complete series, because that's actually the one video I think I actually legitimately hated, because I think I could have kind of blew it. So yeah, I want to redo one. This is my redo. Oh, because this is the one time. That's the one time when I review a show or a movie or anything when I feel like, even though my thoughts haven't changed, that's one of the ones when only one when I feel like I blew it completely Probably because I was very up many for a while, so I probably wasn't focusing on the review. So this is me focused on and more restful in this one. So the acting's good. I'm not sure it's supposed to be a drama or a comedy, but people say on like that talk about the show says it's a comedy. I guess the Rice thing's comedy, but I found this really too depressing for a comedy show, and way too mean-spirited for a mean-spirited comedy show compared to Family Guy. In fact, the show often really does disturb me, the whole thing. Makes me feel like I just feel wrong watching the show. I feel like I shouldn't be watching this but I don't know why people like this show. Why it's got called fun, why it got fan base, or any fan base, or any fans. I just feel wrong watching this show. It's like, it's one of those things you feel wrong watching. Like, you don't even want to enjoy it because you just feel wrong just watching it. That's everything, every scene of this episode, outside of Chris Rock's narration as his adult self about his childhood, and also the intro, Everybody Hates Chris, to the show in every episode. So, yeah. It is weird how the show kind of ends up abruptly before he even gets his Chris Rock gets his his comedy gig. So if this is supposed to be a story about Chris Rock in his childhood, why don't we just is this maybe this was more supposed to have more than one another maybe this was supposed to have more seasons than it ended up having, but yeah, the finale is kind of abrupt. It's one of those finales, so weird. And I'm not really sure which is a joke and what's not a joke in the show. So he's either the take it entirely seriously or the whole thing's a joke. In every piece of dialogue of throughout each episode. So I have no idea if it's supposed to be funny or serious, and that's one of those things. And so yeah, I'm giving this a 0 out of 10. This show as a whole, and it's weird because everyone outside of Chris, I ends up really wanting to wish death on one of those characters. So within the show, everybody is Chris towards those characters. So yeah. It also really pissed me off that this is how the whole everything pisses me off about the show, and everything puts me in this really dark place of this depressing state, and everything this makes me feel horrible watching this show, and makes me feel like this is just wrong watching this. It's like people think this it's like people didn't think if this was a good idea. They just did because they wanted idea, and this is what they came up with. But they never asked themselves, should they do this? The answer is no, they shouldn't have done this. So I mean, unless you're some kind of sicko that's 100% insane and stupid, well, it's not really following along in the content of the show, you might enjoy this, or if you're completely oblivious, or just suffering some kind of brain damage, you might like the show. So you also might be one of those people that find amusing or that weird things that I'm thinking about this show. It's like I'm not focusing anymore because I'm just wondering why the fuck was the show even made? Who thought this was a good idea? Who greenlighted this show? Why does the show exist? I don't want it to exist. And I really wish I didn't know it existed. That's why I was getting 0 out of 10, so everybody hates Chris. Fuck this show.